Welcome back. What we learned this week in the flesh. It's Jake. I'm here. I'm back. I know you all have missed me for so long, even though I know it's not been even a full week since I've last posted a video. But this time I got a very special guest. His name's Alex Meyers. Alex, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. How are you today?
What's going on, brother? I'm good. How
Not
are
too
you?
much. I'm wonderful, man. Just happy to be back behind the camera again.
Hell
I
yeah.
went on a
Hell
hiatus
yeah.
for like 2 weeks of no podcasting, no YouTube, and it was
Gotcha.
I hated it. I hated
Feeling
it.
unproductive. Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
exactly. I mean, it
I'm
was
gonna
needed,
apologize
but
real quick.
yeah.
I'm sort of got like a cold. My son had RSV,
Oh
and
shit.
yeah, I'm getting the shitty part of it.
Oh
So
no.
I feel,
Well,
dude,
up
every
there.
time I have something special to do like
Yeah,
this,
right.
I freaking get a cold. Sorry,
No, you're
man.
good.
I did this Michael Myers fan film, and of course I had to redo all the audio because I had a cold while we were shooting it.
Oh no.
I know, poor
That's the
Braden.
worst. Well, and that kind
But
of segues into it too. So the reason that me and Alex met, the reason we got to know each other is Alex actually gave me an opportunity to do some acting on an indie show. And so I'll let you kind of go into that if you'd like, or just kind of tell us a little bit more about yourself and everything like that if you'd like.
yeah, man. Let's Yeah, well, the cool part about that is that you were my very first short film. Like it was sort of like a promo, or like I guess like an interlude to the show. It's called He's Back. You had like you were one of the characters in that. And yeah, it was sort of like a prequel to the show Pleasant High that we eventually will make, uh if things will stop
Oh man, I know it's like
falling
every
apart on me. But
I know.
I think with that whole thing, man, it's like if it's not one thing, it's the other, man. It's if it's not locations or actors pulling out, which so far we've had really devoted actors that are really committed. But with this last thing, so we were supposed to shoot this year, 2021, July. If everything would have went according to plan, I'd be sitting right here editing the whole show, which is annoying. But it's like it all started like basically one actor pulled out, and it was a pretty major role. And I'm sure you saw like on the forums and everything, I was looking to replace him. No one wanted the part. So I was like, okay, well, we can't shoot without that. And then a location backed out, and everything just crumbled.
Oh
And
man.
I think one of the big things, like a lot of people might have been a little upset with me, and I don't want to throw shade at anybody, but it was like someone messaged me and they were like, yeah, this person was really excited. I was like, yeah, me too. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's
What
more
do you
excited
mean?
than I am.
Yeah,
I wrote the
right.
damn show.
This was
I'm
my
doing
show.
it. Yeah, man, this is my thing. It's
Man.
like no one's more excited than I am. And I think a lot of people are getting discouraged by it. But like if we don't do it this year, we got next year. If we can't do it next year, we got the year after that.
Yeah,
All
right.
the actors, everyone, looks phenomenal. Maybe excluding myself. I maybe only have a couple years left to play a high schooler, but everyone else looks great. We're good.
Dude, I
Well,
that's why I just figured if I could get a call back in and you need me to look younger, I'll just shave the beard completely off and then I'll look
there
12
you go.
again and then we'll
See,
be
you'd
good
be
to go.
fine. Yeah, we'd kill it,
Exactly.
man.
No,
But
man,
yeah,
that
man.
I feel like that's just such a common thing though that you kind of see in the industry, especially when it comes to like more the independent filmmaking and everything. Whether it's yeah, like whether it's just dates getting pushed back or location dropping off or anything, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think people need to understand, man. It's not a cancellation; it's a postponement.
right.
We'll get there.
It'll get there
So
eventually, we promise, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people want to see it. We if I do, if I am able to plug a little bit, I actually
Yeah, of
just
course,
posted
man.
a video. It'll premiere at noon today, Central
Ooh.
Standard Time, and it's behind the scenes interviews with the main cast. So
Oh,
if you guys
nice.
want to
Okay.
check that out, yeah. So they're turning out pretty good.
Better be careful. You're gonna start hyping people up again. They're gonna start asking questions.
And I'm just gonna drag this thing out forever, I guess. Eventually we'll make it though.
Eventually it'll get out there.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush. I think of what people really need to understand is if we would have tried to do it like this year, it would have been so much worse. We would have wasted so much money. We would have wasted so many people's time. Everyone would have came out and things wouldn't have been organized. Thankfully this time I'm bringing on people that can make schedules and all that stuff, so I don't have to do it. Can they're probably way more qualified than I am. So
Yeah,
hopefully, yeah,
kind of takes some of the load off of your back too, so you can focus more on, the actual stuff that you have to get done for the filming.
yeah, for sure, man. The original idea was for me to write the script and then act, and then now I'm wearing 50 different hats, and everyone. I will shout out everyone who's trying to help and recommending stuff, but this is tough. This is a big project, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, even when I came in, and I had only been in the project for a little bit, and just seeing the amount that went into just the short piece that we filmed,
Yeah,
it was like, man, you could tell that you were doing literally every aspect of it. It's
yeah,
like,
and
man, he's just cruising through this.
yeah, and outside of Pleasant High, I do want to keep doing stuff like that. I don't know if you saw that short film that I did called You. It's like that stuff is really
Yeah, yeah.
fun to do, man.
Yeah, that one on YouTube, I did see that one. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I just love creating like short films like
For
that.
sure.
And I think it's nice. I think, so for me, I did the short film Breathe, and that was a ton of fun. But that was one actress, me, and that's it. And one camera, or basically, me with using two cameras. And even that was like between the scripting and the audio
Yeah,
engineering and, scheduling and everything like that with just one person
yeah.
was a lot more
It's
intense
tough.
than I would have expected. You know what I
It's
mean?
tough.
I just had this little idea of like, oh, I want to do this, short film that I think would be a good concept. And then, brought her on board. And, God, I mean, thank God for her. Like, shout out to Leanna. She was an absolute dynamite. It was the first time she'd ever like filmed anything.
Okay.
And absolute like dynamite of a fucking actress. Let me tell you. Like, she just was
Nice.
willing to do anything like that I needed. She's like, what day do we need to be there? Like what time? And just absolute killer. So that helped. But man, just between every aspect of pre-production, production, and then post was just like, so I
Yeah.
can't imagine when you have a larger cast like you did for, like you do for Pleasant High and, the amount of people and locations that
Yeah.
you're having to deal with, like
Yeah.
just the whole logistic end of that is outrageous.
Yeah. Well, man, so far everyone on Pleasant High has been really like accommodating. Everyone always shows up for everything that we plan, and you got to work with Ricardo and Hannah. Them two specifically are very dependable. And me and Ricardo are actually going to be working on something soon.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, if I could ever make the time to, get to working on it. But
I think everyone up here that like has seen it, that saw that short film, they still get a kick out of watching, big Ricardo just beat the absolute shit out of me.
oh man,
I'm like,
he's a
in
big
all
dude.
actuality, a dude that big, he hits me once, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's too funny. But no,
Yeah,
it's I loved it, man. I had a ton of fun. I can't wait to, get back into it whenever and start filming again. But
for sure.
but like on that topic, so what kind of got you into the whole filmmaking aspect? I mean, has this been kind of something you've done since you were a kid or?
Man, it started with acting, and that's all I wanted to do. I will say that writing, we had like little assignments in like elementary school that I really got into. It's probably the only thing I was good at. And it all sort of came down to you're basically learning how to do everything just so that you can get experience. And yeah, sort of, I definitely got way more into the writing. And then, you know, because I love storytelling, that's probably the best part. And that's probably, where I shine the most, if I do say so myself. As much as I'd love to be like a super standout actor,
Right.
you know, when I'm on screen with someone like Sean Roundtree Jr., he's just incredible. So I fall back onto the storytelling part, and cinematography is probably the part that I'm the least experienced and talented at, because it's all the technical stuff, man. Like like lighting and all that stuff. I'm not super good at, but I do it enough to just like with that last short film, just to do it by myself. So sort of just learning as I go, man. But yeah, it started with acting because I was obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, and I wanted to be just like him. I used to part my hair down the middle and all that good stuff. So it all started from that, and then you sort of when you turn into a one man band, you sort of learn how to do everything. I'm sure you're the same way. You start doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it started for me too, is acting was the first big one for me. That was kind of how I got into it. And then just over time, because I wanted to continue to act, I had to make stuff for myself. You
Exactly.
can't, you can't go out and get everything you audition for. So, I had to do that. And then, um,
Exactly.
yeah, so that led into the cinematography and the writing and everything like that.
There you
And,
go.
so I was the same way. I kind of just fell into that role and I love it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would say I don't know about you. And that was going to be my next question. Like, my favorite aspect of the entire thing, I love video editing. I don't know why, if
There
that
you
makes
go.
me
Yeah,
insane, but the editing aspect is by far my favorite part of like making
absolutely.
anything.
I love it. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I like editing. I'm sort of, we have the interviews and stuff, but I'm like sort of coming up with other things that I can edit too. So I'm right there with you. I love the editing part. And like I said, if it wasn't for everything falling apart, I'd be editing the whole season 1 right now. So, you know,
It's coming, man. It'll happen. I know it will. I know it's
yeah,
coming.
yeah. It's just like each time it falls apart, I'm gonna learn something, and then hopefully it'll get better and better each time. Maybe we can go out and film some of the stuff that's not like super continuity related, and then maybe we can just piece it together that way and make it a little bit easier on everyone.
There you go. Like more of just like the B shots kind of and stuff
But
like that you can
yeah,
shoot.
either way, it'll happen eventually. I know it will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like there's some flashbacks in there that could be filmed. There's sort of the stuff like we did with He's Back. I'd like to do that with a couple of the actors if they're down. Haley, who plays Kira, me and her were talking about doing sort of the same thing like we did with He's Back, except for maybe show what would happen before season 1 started. Just anything we could do really, and to promote it. And I mean, like I said, a lot of people want to see it, so
Oh,
so
definitely.
we'll get
Um,
there.
so do you think that show was kind of like that's going to be your passion like that'll be your passion piece for sure?
This is the biggest one. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what I would, I don't, it's hard to think like what I'm going to do after that, because I would like to do 2 seasons at least. Um, and then sort of just like what every other actor does and just go off and make other things. Hopefully I don't have to do so much behind the scenes stuff.
Right. Right.
Um, but yes, so writing and acting, I would just like to keep going with that and play a bunch of parts. There's like we did, me and Nick Rockhouse did a short film a long time ago called Therapy Session. And one thing that I've always liked about Leo is that he always wants to play characters that are different. And that's why he doesn't make so many movies. He always plays characters that are significant, um, like Shutter Island or um, The Aviator, where he played Howard Hughes. Even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he was playing a quote unquote bad actor. Those are all significant roles, and it's not so basic. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it, really, Titanic was the most basic role he's ever done, which is
Which is crazy to think because it was still one of his most prized, or like a prized roles.
yeah, that's what shot him off, really. Um, but like if you compare that character and the way he acts, how he's just like a normal person, if you compare it to like what's eating Gilbert Grape, oh, it's like that's nothing for him. So yeah, man, I just want to play like fun characters like the one I played in Therapy Session, or even you, where playing 2 different people and stuff's just fun for me.
Yeah, man. I totally agree. Like just kind of expanding on just to see how far your horizon can go or how far your acting can go and see, okay, can I do this, especially with you, it's like, can I play
Yeah,
both scenes? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think I'm right there with you. It's like, I just want to see, can I play this? I like to just put myself in the most uncomfortable role to see that if I
there
can
you
pull it
go.
off. You know what I
There
mean?
you go, for sure. I don't know, are you the type of person, if you're getting ready to do something like that, you just wish you didn't have to do it? Does that make sense?
I think I'm more of like if I know I'm gonna do something uncomfortable, I'm such a like I want to do it now. I do not want to wait.
There you
Like
go.
I'd rather just do this now. I feel like this is gonna be the best moment. You know what I mean? Like
Cool.
waiting
Okay.
just is the worst for me.
Okay. So that makes sense to where if I'm getting ready to do something, I'm the type of person I'll try to like think of ways out of it. And then I'm like, but then I start to think like you do. And I'm like, if I do it now, then I don't ever have to do it again. And yeah, I like being in those situations. So, but I am the type of person that once it's like say I've kissed a girl and on screen before, and it was the first time I did it, and I was really nervous, and I was like, damn, I don't even want to do it. I was thinking of ways to get out of it, and then I did it, and it was fine. You know what I mean? So
Oh, that's too funny. It's like your self-conscious trying to beat you out of it. Like, no, 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 don't do this. You don't
yeah,
need to do this. Like,
yeah,
think of any excuse
acting
ever
like
to
a
get out of
bitch.
it. Oh man. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
But yeah, man. So let's see, are you in college right now for film, or did you go to college for it? I can't remember.
I'm on a break right now.
Okay.
Am- I was doing online film school and it was fine. I was going to Full Sail, but then I don't know if it's just my schedule or what happened, but I sort of just started falling back. Eventually, I'll probably go back. I don't know if I'm going to go to, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go back to film school in general. Just because I feel like if I'm going to go to college and like actually get a degree, I should do it with something that requires me to go to college. Whereas like
Right.
the film and stuff, I'm already doing it. So, and I don't plan on like, I don't know. I feel like I'm always going to be independent with it, even if things start to take off. I feel like I'm still going to be doing like independent stuff that where I'm the producer and I'm in control and stuff. So
So you're gonna take the Kevin Smith route.
yeah, yeah,
That guy's like,
sort of like that.
I fucking love it. I love everything that guy's done. And
Yeah, for
even
sure.
Tusk, and that was a fucked up movie, but even that
That
one
movie was
was
nuts.
that
That
movie
was
was
nuts.
fucking insane.
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith because like I was a badass little kid. I remember one of the first movies I watched of his was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and he was like one of the first. Yeah, he was like one of the first filmmakers I actually paid attention to. He's just he's dope, man.
Dude, the first one I watched, I was the same way. I was a badass little kid and I watched Clerks 2. So I didn't watch Clerks
There
1, I
you
watched
go.
Clerks 2. And then
Okay.
I just, from there, I just started watching like all of his stuff and just like fell in love with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
I think I watched Clerks 2 and then Clerks as well.
yeah. And now Clerks 3 is coming out. Super excited about
I
that.
saw that.
Can't
Yeah,
wait
I
for
saw
that.
that. I actually
Um,
I actually really liked the Jay and Silent Bob reboot that they did. That was really, really
yeah. Dude, I mean, he's a mastermind, especially when it comes to like sequels and prequels and stuff like that. Like for something that's so
yeah.
easy for it to flop in any other like realm, any other
Right.
filmmaker, you make a sequel or prequel, unless it's a Marvel film, but anything else, it's like, okay, this could flop. Like for instance, like Don't Breathe, that was a great movie, but
Yeah.
now the second one just came out, and I'm hearing that it's maybe not as good, not as like they're trying to play him as the protagonist now, which
Right.
seems weird. But
I I hate to say it, but yeah, man, I'm not super excited about the sequel. And
yeah,
the first one was like one of my favorite movies. I remember I worked at a college at the time when it came out, and I was telling like every person who came to the bookstore to go watch it. And I love that movie, and I gotta agree, I don't see the second one being very good.
yeah,
But at the same time, how I'm one of those people that I always want more.
right,
And to be completely honest, I don't know how they would have done it very well anyway. I think it needs to end in a cliffhanger the way that it did. But
yeah, and not continue on, right?
yeah, that's just me.
But that's my thing too. So that, and back to the Kevin Smith thing, it's like he's so unafraid to do sequels to
Yeah.
movies. Like he just and he'll do the same. Like if you look at Clerks 1 and Clerks 2, they're those are basically the same movies in different settings. Like that's what they are, but they're still
Right.
so
Yeah,
good. Like they're
for
just
sure.
fucking phenomenal movies. And he just nailed it down. Like he
Yeah,
knows his niche audience, and he
for
just
sure.
knows that he's got the cult following that people are just gonna love his stuff anyways.
Exactly. And I think a big part is that he's really self-deprecating anyway. He doesn't ever say like he's an incredible filmmaker or anything like that. So I think that has a lot to do with him like sort of taking chances with stuff like that.
Right. I mean, I can't tell you how long it took me to like realize he was the one that like created Clerks. Like Silent Bob was the guy that created Clerks. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I
Yeah,
first learned that,
yeah.
I was like, holy shit! Like nobody knows. Like nobody would have known because he doesn't just out himself like that. You know what I mean?
No,
And I
no,
love that.
no.
But it's funny that you say you went to Full Sail too, because I just have been applying to film schools recently, and
Okay.
I applied at Full Sail, and I actually decided against it. No offense to them at all. Like it
Yeah.
seemed like a great school. But I ended up finding a local college that does a digital cinematography courses, and it's basically like a community college almost that offers the 4-year degree. And I'm like, well, I'm going to take that route because it's significantly cheaper and it's
Yeah,
in person. You know what I mean?
there you go. Yeah, the
But
in-person thing is definitely something to go for.
yeah. And I don't think that you need it. Like you were saying, like, I don't think that it's something that I need to have,
Right,
to be in the industry at all. For me, I think it was more, I wanted to be as comfortable as I could be behind the camera and
for
technically
sure.
sound. Like that's where I want to, make sure that I'm most locked in
Yeah,
as
same
being a
here.
technically sound kind of.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to know all that stuff, especially if you're going to do it the independent route. So,
Yeah, 100%. And it makes it a million times harder, but but it's so
yeah,
much
yeah,
more
for
worth
sure.
it.
So much.
Oh man. But yeah, so now so we're on pause with Pleasant High right now, but you've got your YouTube channel, correct? That you've been kind of up and rolling with.
Yeah, sort of in and out with that.
Okay. And what's the name of that one?
I hate to sound like a, you know, well, it was ATM Productions. I changed it back to my name, so it's just Alex Tyler Myers now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, I figured I could just do everything from that. With I can promote Pleasant High. I can do short films. I can do the YouTube, like the traditional YouTube videos.
Right.
So with YouTube, I've been sort of in and out. I do really like making videos, but I also really am more into like traditional filmmaking and acting, because a lot of times you'll see actors or YouTubers really, do movies, and then the main excuse is that like they only got that part because of their YouTube channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I get that. I think I have that similar problem. Like when I go into, I started doing vlogs recently for my personal YouTube channel. And like, I think my problem is that I try so hard I get into when I'm going into editing, right? Or even when I'm filming it, like
Yeah,
I automatically jump into the filmmaking route as opposed to this is a YouTube video. So it's like lighting is correct and my sound is set up, my scenery is set up properly and everything like that. Like I'm like, no, no, no,
yeah,
this is a YouTube video, dude. This is supposed to be fun. This isn't you're not
yeah.
making a short
Same.
film here again.
Yeah, same here, man.
And it's the
Same
same
here.
thing with the editing, like, which is great to a point because some of the editing that I'm able to do, like, it makes it look really good. But at the same
Yeah,
point, it's like you can't spend, an immense amount of time when you're trying to crank out just 10 to 12-minute videos that are supposed to be for
exactly.
YouTube.
Yeah, man. That was one of the things that my girlfriend used to really get mad at me about. Is I'd spend so much time editing those videos, like constant editing. But
I
like,
think in
nah,
order to be a
nah,
filmmaker, you almost have to be perfectionist to a fault. You know what
for
I
sure,
mean? Like
for
where
sure.
somebody else has to come in and kind of stop you and say, "Hey, I think it's
Yeah,
good."
yeah, for sure. Well, the people that do that full time, they usually have editors, and we don't have that.
Right. So it's like
So
it's my baby. I want it to be perfect. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Well, for sure. And the YouTube videos that I do are usually comedy based, but a lot of the comedy comes from the editing. I don't know if I've picked that up through watching YouTubers, and I don't know if anyone else would have that same style that I have. So
right. Yeah, no, I 100% get that. Like finding an editor that can, when you eventually get to a point to finding an editor, it's like, okay, you have to make sure it's someone that's going to have a similar vision to you, maybe expand
yeah,
on it a bit, but
yeah,
to have a starting base that's very similar to you, which is nerve wracking in and of itself, because it's
for
like
sure.
you're literally handing over your work and hoping that they can see your vision out of it.
Yeah. And then what if they edit it and then send it back to you, and you're like, you're just not with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
How do you
That would
tell
be
the guy,
sad.
like, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry, but this is not what I was
that's
looking
not
for?
it. Yeah. And then
And
you probably already
little do you
paid
know
for
that
it.
that guy was spending like 4 hours on this
I
video.
know. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, it's awful. Well, hey man, do you got anything else that you want to plug right now? Anything you got the YouTube channel. That's Alex Myers, you said, correct?
Alex Tyler Myers.
Alex Tyler Myers, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else right away that you want to plug?
I don't think so, man. I think just the meet the students interviews are going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how frequently they'll come out because I still have to edit the rest of them. I just found that last one and finished it. I think Pleasant High is the main thing to plug right now. It's just because I want people to know that we're not giving up and we'll get there eventually.
It's
Um,
coming.
yeah, but other than that, just the YouTube channel. I have all the the independent stuff. That's just I'm doing on my own. So yeah, man, short films, YouTube videos, just whatever, it'll be there.
For sure, man. I love to hear it. Well, thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Of course,
You were like
this
one of
is
the
fun.
first ones because when I started taking that different direction with this podcast, I was thinking of people that I could bring on the show. And you were kind of just like that first one that I thought, oh, that'd be
Okay,
great to bring him on because, you know, we're such similar minded in that aspect and, you know, similar career paths
sweet,
and everything. So I thought it'd be a
cool.
good one. And I think it went pretty well. So
Yeah, that
for
makes me
sure.
think I'm doing something right.
Oh, 100%,
So
man. Trust me.
dope.
I was extremely impressed when we went into filming, especially for like not knowing, you know, any of the cast, not knowing any of you guys and going in
Yeah,
on an indie. You never know when you're getting what you're going to get into when you do
for
an
sure.
indie film, and just the way that you went about the production, the way you went about, you know, reaching out to everyone, like super professional. Like I thought you did a great job, man. I'm excited to see, you know, for Pleasant High to start production back up and everything and, you know, see where
Thank
it
you,
goes
man.
and everything.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I can't wait. It seems like a long time away, but that's just time for me to prepare and hope that everything goes according to plan this time. So
Exactly. Just got to get everything happens for a reason, man. You just got to get those ducks in a row.
for
It'll
sure,
just come back bigger and better than ever. And when
for
you need
sure.
me to come back and refilm and get the shit beat out of me by Ricardo again, you just let me know. I'll be there, man.
All right. Hell yeah. Me too.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. What we learned this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Hit it, don't quit it. Hit it past to your friends. Don't hide your kids. Don't hide your wives because we out here. We're making great content, folks. 500 subs. Oh, yeah. You haven't even heard this outro yet. Let me tell you this outro. It's killer.
It's
500
dope.
subs. I'm getting a perm if I get 500 subs on YouTube.
Oh
Happening.
man.
Perming the hair out. We
Oh,
made this
you
bet when I had my other two co-hosts on the show, and I'm staying with it. I'm not letting it go. It's 500 subs. We're getting the perms, boys. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. If you're a broke bitch, can't afford to do Patreon, check us out on Venmo at WWLTW podcast. If you Venmo us, make sure you leave us a couple emojis so that I can try and decipher what you're trying to ask me or a topic you're trying to discuss. What else? Check out my YouTube channel, Jake Dunaway. Check out our YouTube channel, WWLTW Podcast. Check out Johnny Wishbone on YouTube. Check out Thirst Homeless on YouTube. This episode is brought to you by JD Creations LLC. It's brought to you by Hard Work Coffee Company, and it's brought to you by AstroDesignCompany.com. Thank you guys for joining us again on another episode. Alex, thank you very much for joining me, my man. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.